what I would say is us football fans were very hypocritical. Right now we're vexed. You rise up some signings optimistic about. Suddenly the titles change, the optimism changes, etc. I'd have loved to have sat here and here we go, Morgan Rogers. Bruno Gomares is in some helicopter coming to London. Bacola, what's going on? This, what's going on? Quick little defender coming. Gabriel Jesus is gone. Dark. I can't answer when, bro. I'm like you. I wish I had the answers, cuz this is why I've always said I'll reserve proper crash outs for if the window closes and we ain't done what we've done. There's going to be days where I'm more optimistic. As you can see, probably in the last 24 hours, maybe you can't. But I like to think you can see I've been a bit pissed off in it. Like, there needs to be another word beyond being pissed off. I don't know the word, but I'm over this. Like, I don't really care about half of these things. He's not that guy. Stop this. FFP editor, I've got a bone to pick with you. You was quite rude in my comments. By all means, disagree. Don't be feisty. Don't be feisty. Praying to run into one of you lot one day. I just want to know and know that the energy is the same. But yeah, cracking on with this. Smash the like button. Bring Nico, man. Bring him, man. Bring him. Bit desperate, but bring him. I know it's not happening. Big up Hand of Arsenal because he did provide the update. I'll click on his account because this come out at 36 minutes past 1. I don't know if he's made another tweet. Arsenal maintains strong interest in Konza. I can't say this guy's name, but Crystal Palace's local interest called a while back after I reported it. Probably going to have to pay a bit too much for him from Crystal Palace. Konza's got 2 years left on his deal. Knowing our club, we're probably thinking we can be a bit cheeky and bargain it and barter and whatnot. I don't know. The club also held interest in Jacobo Ramon. I think he's at Como. But Como have no intention to sell, given their Champions League exploits. As I said, I'd love Bruno Gomares, but until I see anything of significance, I don't really care because I can't see it happening. Newcastle remain firm on their valuation of Bruno, 80 to 85 million. So in an ideal world, you get him for 60 odd, but you're probably going to have to pay a bit more. In an ideal world, you probably get Rodgers for 80, 90, 100 odd million, but you're going to have to pay a bit more. How much do you really want these players? How much are they difference makers? And if you can't get them, have you got different other profiles? Just make sure you do what needs to be done. For me, I'm at the logic now, man. When we're linked with these kind of players, I'm not taking it in, man. And this is why, and I've said before, when it looked a bit more optimistic around Morgan Rogers, and I thought it might mean I'm a positive omen. This is why I didn't think at the time, and we did get some of these players. I didn't think we get Alexis, Aubameyang, Mesut Ozil. The list kind of goes on, all of those. And for every Declan Rice, we've had the Bruno Gomares pursuit, the Douglas Luiz pursuit, the Caicedo pursuit, the Rodgers pursuit, ultimately left twiddling our fingers in it, really. Arsenal were Martinelli is for sale. I mean, that's interesting to me in a sense that probably something we knew, but I didn't expect Trossard and Martinelli to go. Is there a market for Martinelli? And that's where you got to earn your magic, because if Anthony Gordon's gone for 60 odd, we should be getting that for Martinelli. Whether he's better or not is irrelevant. It's just what the market is. Arsenal were told 80 to 100 M's gets it done for Morgan during May, June time. This was relayed to BERTA via agents. Maybe they play. You know what? Because again, now my mind starts to overthink. Maybe in hindsight, Morgan was ongoing Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea were making moves, Arsenal were not. He wants to move and make progression. Maybe the agents that was relaying information was playing BERTA, really, and Villa. Because if he genuinely, for argument's sake, if Rodgers genuinely wanted Chelsea and Arsenal onto him, and agents are the middlemen, are you not going to relay this information to Chelsea? Right, like Arsenal are saying 100 odd. You got your money. And obviously, the bigger the transfer fee, the more agent commission. Everybody's winning. Rodgers got a new deal and they get to move to a club he wants to go. Agent's done his thing for his client and got paid. Aston Villa have made a tremendous profit on someone that's been there a couple of years. Middlesbrough obviously made some money, because of the sell-on clause. Everyone's a winner, apart from my football club fans at this moment. This was relayed to BERTA via agents. Anderson deal changed Villa's valuation completely. I rate that from Villa, as it should. If you've got one of these assets in this day and age, you should be trying to bump people. 117 million. Therefore, Arsenal verbally offered 80. They were willing to go to 100 max, but the valuation had changed because the Anderson and Tonali deals had dictated the market by this point. So we haven't quite shown flexibility in our approach. Morgan and his family were fully set on Arsenal. Face-to-face meeting with Mikel, now reported via major journalists too. And this is the jarring thing, like, well, we're just wasting bare time. Whoever's job it is to dot I's and cross T's, it's still in BERTA we trust, but you're fucking about. Man, I'm meeting families. This always happens in the transfer window, innit? People think they're getting moves and go elsewhere, but maybe we need to change our system. On one hand, I do rate our approach, and it's almost like trading, innit? Or investing. If you've got a core set of principles that you don't bend on, you might miss opportunities, but 9 times out of 10, it will work out for you. But to me, It feels like the patterns we've been trying to pattern, we're not adapting to the times, quote unquote, and we're left short-handed. Because if Rodgers was your left winger, the debate is never whether Rodgers could be a left winger. Like if he was your top left wing target, me as a neutral football fan, not even a neutral football fan, that's the wrong word, as just an armchair expert, not in the negotiating table. Of course, we could throw some names, but the left wing market's a bit dead. Where else are you going to pivot now? Whether the person's good enough is not or not is another conversation to have. But you had to have known, cool, Rodgers, ideal world, he signs for Arsenal under the terms we want. If not, we have to pivot elsewhere. Bukola, they're asking, did we not even see that they wanted 160 million for PSG from PSG? Well, PSG wanted that for Bukola. So boy, man, boy, another one bites the dust. Who knows? With Morgan Rogers going Chelsea, maybe, can get him on the free. A part of me hopes that I wake up and we've hijacked the hijack, but them kind of things don't happen with my football club, man. Get me, like, personal terms haven't been an issue. Arteta, I feel sorry for you. Arsenal were haggling over Morgan Rogers' price and acted a bit unreasonably in negotiations. That's when Chelsea stepped in directly and agreed to pay the amount demanded by Aston Villa. Arsenal were hit by a big surprise when Chelsea hijacked their deal for Morgan Rogers. And obviously, on top of all the other reasons for Chelsea getting Morgan Rogers, there's got to be a correlation with anyone who spent 2 minutes at City and gone elsewhere, ending up at Chelsea, innit? Arsenal didn't panic when they found out about Rodgers going to Chelsea. All right, well then make sure you rise up something else. I did speak about this in the earlier video, but big up our World Cup boys. Big up everyone who participated from an Arsenal perspective at the World Cup. And you've got our World Cup winning trio, David Raya, Mikel Merino, and Martin Zubamendi. Zubamendi and Merino came off the bench. Spain defeated Lionel Messi's Argentina. Zubamendi signed for us, ended our 22-year drought. Partey could never. I only deal with facts. Tell me where I'm wrong. And again, even stuff like this, I don't want to hear it no more, man. Arsenal have other attacking targets, including Julian Alvarez and Junior Krupi, while appreciation remains for Bradley Barcola, who is also a Liverpool target. I'm having Krupi with all, Arteta seems dead set on Julian Alvarez. Barcola, fuck it, bring it, but it is what it is. Is there anyone that would and wouldn't have John Stones? Now, for the way we play football and obviously, the modern day requirements of a centre-back, obviously with the Saliba stuff, if it was just on John Stones as a footballer, it makes sense for me, if I'm completely honest. But you look at the amount of games he's played in the last few years, the amount of starts, the amount of injuries, for me, it don't make sense considering like what we've got. You throw in the Arsenal tax, him and Saliba will be a great partnership in the treatment table. Won't really be seen at the Emirates. And I do think there could, John Stones, you could earn a decent wage. You've competed against Arsenal, so you know what we're on. You stay in the Premier League. You know about Arteta. You chat to a couple of your England boys. It'd be a good proposition. But for me, if I'm John Stones at 32, winning and doing everything I've done at City, when are you going to have a better opportunity to maybe explore something abroad? But nonetheless, that's my thoughts. What's yours? Arsenal apparently are now among a host of clubs exploring a move for John Stones. Team Talk understand sources, understand his performances at the World Cup, have convinced several of Europe's biggest clubs that he can still perform at the highest level. So, yeah, we're considering whether to go on him. He's got offers from England and abroad. I mean, a part of me did feel with England versus France, Bradley, Barcola and Saka might be talking about linking up at club level. But Romano said, my understanding in Bradley Barcola is that so far Arsenal have not made any checks over the recent days. At the moment, the conversation between Barcola and Arsenal is still cold. Liverpool remain attentive to the situation. Zolis apparently is in London finalising his move to Arsenal. Everything goes to plan. It'll be announced on Wednesday. Sam Wallace of the Daily Telegraph has said Arsenal are making a major push to sign Bruno Guimaraes. Predictable because there's only so many wingers we can be linked with, and following the fallout with Rodgers, the journalists have to throw some other names. Yan Diomande. Seems like it's difficult for Liverpool and PSG to prize him out of Leipzig, so I don't doubt that we're scouting him, but really, does anyone believe this? I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Keep an eye on the situation of Yandi on Monday 19. PSG have a verbal agreement on contract terms, but do not have an agreement with Leipzig. I'm told there are more clubs who keep calling on a daily basis to understand if they can enter the deal. Arsenal did this over the recent days. There are more clubs calling behind the scenes. Now it's on PSG to close this story. Arsenal had an agreement close with Rodgers on personal terms, but they waited and another team arrived. With Diomande, it's been 3 or 4 weeks since the agreement to personal terms. Pardon me, apologies. But then you have to close the deal club to club. All right. Again, this is what's jarring. Again, I've no disrespect to Andrea Berta, but plenty of sporting directors operate like this. And I only say that to say this. I do think language is important, and I think a lot of journalists, when they speak about Arsenal, they make it sound like it's mad unique to us. Fair enough, though. Andrea Berta likes to spin multiple deals to the point of near fruition again, but you can spin all them plates. You need to confirm something. You didn't. All the plates are going to drop in it. And then finally bid. Arsenal took weeks to get to a point of a bid for Morgan Rogers. Chelsea were more decisive. We want you. We'll pay what it takes. Players like that clarity. Arsenal haggling over Jerry Monga. That opened the door to join City. Enzo Maresca knew the player. He called the player, and Man City paid what it takes. It was only 3-4 million difference. Arsenal missed out on Monga as well. So this dilly-dallying it, we might look back and judge it differently, but it's bit you in the arse. Zolis has already arrived, but Arsenal are looking for a starting left winger. And potentially, in addition, a more versatile box office 9. I think both of those are high priority. We need to keep an eye on Julian Alvarez's situation. Arsenal are alert to that opportunity, but it's a difficult deal. Junior Krupi is on the list. There's an appreciation for Bradley Bacola, but Arsenal haven't made any movement there yet. Arsenal have made an inquiry for Lacole. The starting valuation from Crystal Palace is 55 million. We obviously earlier just read something by Hand of Arsenal, so that's looking mythical. Declan Rice has spoken about needing injections to numb nerve pain during the season and has not been fully fit during the World Cup despite committing to play in games. The consensus is that he needs a full rest. Well, probably why we need another midfielder. Bukayo Saka has nursed an Achilles problem throughout the World Cup, but Arsenal are hopeful that, like Rice, Saka will simply recover with rest. Ben White is expected back in Arsenal pre-season training. You would have seen him and Timber arrive, having recovered from a significant knee injury. He's understood to have made good progress. Jurien Timber is another who the club hope can play some role in pre-season. There are always worries about the durability of the knees of Gabriel Magalhaes, like Kai Havertz. The one consolation is that Magalhaes, as well as compatriot Gabriel Martinelli, did not progress far in the World Cup. Again, you would have known Arsenal players were involved in 5 of England's 6 goals as they won against France 6-4 in the World Cup third place playoff. Lovely assist from Eze, to be fair. The boy Declan, who can't do anything and is not good, apparently got a goal and assist. And a half-fit 40%, 30%, 20%. But Bukayo Saka did what? Scored a hat-trick. So, yeah. Tottenham have been linked with the Shylock guy. I can't say his name, but you lot are saying he's got off-the-field issues. I'm not really trying to see that at the club. Chelsea face uphill task for 30 million euros signing. Player wants to keep word amid Blues attempt. What's going on here? Arsenal and Atalanta are battling for buying Leverkusen's Karim Alajabegovic. We did a video on him. The name's mad. Pick him up. Wouldn't mind him. Obviously, I don't think he's a level raiser from the point of entry, but the potential speaks for itself, people. Is there any other Arsenal stuff? Lie to us, man. Tell us something 30, man. What's this? I don't care about Morgan Rogers no more, man. Nah, best of luck. What's this? iPaper. You're normally behind a paywall. I wonder if, folks, sorry, people, I'm just trying to make sure. I wonder if this will let me do it so we can see exactly what that says. Okay. Bournemouth stance on Krupi and what it means for Arsenal and Spurs. Let me guess. They're asking for 100 million. Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester City face disappointment in their chase for Ellie Junior Krupi, with Bournemouth having told their star names there's no way they are leaving this summer. Tottenham are among the clubs ready to break the bank for the 20-year-old. They always buy him in my Football Manager, who's on the radar of Europe's top sides after hitting 13 goals in a breakout Premier League season. Sources have laughed off the idea of a 100 million move in this summer transfer window, insisting he's going nowhere and that his asking price will be significantly more in 2027 when the club will listen to offers for him. So they've clearly said, you know, when you're at one more year and you can do what Semenyo and Howson and all these guys did and seek pastures new. And you'd imagine Ryan will be thrown into that. The iPaper can reveal Bournemouth have in recent weeks informed Krupi, along with other wanted stars, Alex Scott, Brazilian forward Ryan, and defender Adrian Truffet, that they will not be allowed to leave this summer as the Cherries prepare for their first ever European campaign. Those conversations have also taken place with the players' reps and family members so that everyone is on the same page heading into a new role. Marco Royce, I think you're going to be the first gaffer to get sacked. I don't rate you. Prove me wrong. And we all know they've sold a bunch of players. Arsenal and City have also put the feelers out about the France under-21 in recent months, but all of his suitors will have to wait 12 months to test Bournemouth's resolve. At that point, the clubs do expect to make sales. Okay. Well, you can forget about that. Then can you? And we've also got some other things. Adrian Crafton of The Athletic has said, I had a conversation in May with someone who is well connected in European football. He said the talk of people He said the talk of people he was speaking to was Arsenal were ready to do serious disruptive business this summer to take the team to the next level. I hope so. I just want to see that. David Ornstein, Bradley Barcola has been mentioned, but we don't know of active movements from Arsenal on Barcola at this moment in time. PSG's standpoint is they do not want to sell him. They'd like to renew his contract. Even if they are to sell him, the price in their mind would be higher, considerably higher than, I think, Elliot Anderson's move to City. This is a player who has won the Champions League. You have to pay the market rate. So it's going to be, if you do get him, it's probably going to be more than 117 million you paid for Morgan Rogers. So pack up all these star names, scouts, do your jobs, in it. He does have 2 years to go on his contract. He doesn't appear to be signing. He appears to be open to moving, it seems, for multiple reasons. It's one that might take time to develop, whether that's staying or going. On whether Arsenal will sign a top player as an alternative to Rodgers, yes, you would imagine so. Who is it, though? Who? They're in that market for a really high-level performer to take them to the next level. We need to see what's going on with Julian Alvarez. That's obviously the dream target for Mikel Arteta. Leave the guy to fuck off to Barcelona, man. The word from Atletico Madrid is that they're keeping him. But if there's any opening of a door, I'm sure Arsenal will try to walk through it. Yeah, man. Hella optimistic. Mad. So happy. So happy. Nico Williams is not elite. Can't solve our problem. Arsenal fans think they're getting anyone better than Rodgers. Nico Williams is not happening. Not convinced by Rodgers or Alvarez. He isn't even that good. Have him. Right, Chelsea fan. We didn't even need Rodgers when we have Ethan and Eze. Villa were briefing from the beginning of the summer that any fee would have to beat Grealish price. You're misled. No, I weren't misled, mate. Go get Morgan Gibbs White left wing. I mean, you could try and he'd be a good alternative, but well, Nottingham Forest is Nottingham Forest gonna be in any rush to get rid of him? The way we operate, I don't think it's, for me, I've checked out of these big players. I know we've got Eze and Rice and that, but we might as well just do the scouts, do your jobs in it. Just find them unknown names. I might not know nothing about them. If they go and do the business for the club, who cares? These Bacolas, Alvarez's, Rodgers, Gomares's, I've mentally checked out because of everything that's required in it. Don't feel that, I don't want to quite go as far as to say we haven't adapted to the times, but you're not sitting here in it. Really and truly. I ain't paying 117 million for a player with less goals than Gibbs White. Not going to lie, let them get shaft. But then for some players, you don't want to sit there and say stats are not important. And some of you will say that and agree with that with Rodgers. And then make out Julian Alvarez is a level raiser and whatnot. I'm not saying he isn't, but then you look at the numbers, it contradicts. Not saying you, Boston, but then it contradicts what you said previously. I thought Diamande was going PSG. Agents push so many propaganda links in the window just trying to stir interest. I only trust the obvious trusted sources. Banyan and Diamande is overrated. Team talk isn't reliable. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I usually support most signings the club do. Despite my personal preference, I will not support nonsense. No to John Stones, buying a co. He's too injury-prone, Stones. Think Stones ends up at Everton from what I've heard or go abroad to Italy. Mike City FC. He might as well go. John Stones might as well go Italy. What's the point? Everton, I hear it. You know, they were, obviously, Barnsley was his first club, but Everton was his first one to give him a real chance at the big time before he went to City. He might as well go abroad, man. Especially because, well, probably in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, now English players are going abroad more so than others. Like, it used to be the little 16-year-olds, they're not getting a scholarship, let's go Germany or whatever. Now it's not just that. And obviously, John Stones has been there with the England boys. You know, I want, like, Rashford's been at Barca, Gordon's going over there, Jude Bellingham's been at Real Madrid. Obviously, it's not all the same, but you wonder, does he want to experience stuff? Much less, I'm sure he's got other teammates with nationalities irrelevant from England that he's spoken to. He might as well go. I reckon he goes abroad. I reckon you go abroad. You've won everything there is to offer. You could join like he's linked with Inter Milan. I know Inter Milan isn't the club it used to be in the early stages of my life, but still a massive club, lovely way of life, decent wages, not what you got at City. I don't know what Italy do, but even someone like John Stones, you're 32, somehow you'll end up playing until you're 37. I'd take Stones over paying 60 million for Konza. Facts. Argentina are a disgrace, man. There are 6 former academy players at Chelsea now, are reserves basically. All the guys that didn't quite bust are there. Like what? Palmer was there, Sancho was there on loan, Gittins is there now, Rodgers is en route. Yeah, man. That's because Yan Diamande will cost 100 mil. We did that DG and it cost us 2 league titles in a row. What are you referring to specifically there, my boy? They must have alternatives. Let's see who they bring in. They have to be incompetence not to. It's another thing if the alternatives are good enough or not. But yeah, like you have to have that. Can we as Gunners fans move on already from the Rodgers thing? We sound like a bit of ex, bro. He's gone. Like it is what it is. Can't treat me out my position, Rico, but it's all fun and games. Exactly, DG. Agents want to earn the biggest transfer fee. Idiot players let agents convince them to agree to moves they don't really want. I don't think Rodgers was against Chelsea. His brethren are there. It's in London. Cool. Chelsea in the dumps right now, but Jabi Alonso's doing his thing. They have won trophies and will get winning again. Equally, as to I don't need to spell the positives of Arsenal. I think he was on anything. Now no one knows. Was Chelsea using? Was the agent playing a game? Was he on? He only had Arsenal, and then Arsenal were messing about, so he goes there. Who knows? Is it a thing where Arsenal sat there and said to him, "Listen, it's not going to work out"? He said, "All right, cool, f that." Because there are other times where it works, where Rodgers could have sat there and told Chelsea, "I don't want to go there. It's only Arsenal." They have to negotiate with us, so he has to sit on his hands. But that's just not how life works. So this approach, you're gonna miss out on Duns, bro. Heard it was always 100 plus. Of course it was for Rodgers. And that's what City got told pre-World Cup when they inquired. Has everyone who is watching subscribed to the channel? Behaved rivals welcome. Chelsea just shopping at academies who have spent, just shopping at players who have spent time in our academy. 220 plus on 5 of them. Yeah, they have got Tosin. They have got Lavia. I forgot about him. Good player, but he just gets done dirty with injuries. Just pay 80 to 85 million. It's a bargain for Bruno Gomes. I wouldn't say it's a bargain, but bro, if you continue to win stuff, he's done his thing, bro. Like, and for me, I want some emerging talents, but I want some guys that are ready to go, if I'm brutally honest, man. 117 mil is the best value for the agents involved in the deal. Rodgers was prepared for Arsenal, but changed his mind. He didn't have his heart set on Arsenal, and agents convinced him. She should, bro. Like, is what it is. Arsenal have been moving Buki too slow, lowballing clubs instead of making the right offers. Nothing new here. Williams ain't great. He'll struggle in the Prem. I think his decision making make him struggle, but physically he could help. But it's jarring, man. It is what it is. What are you gonna do, man? Diamande, Bacola, Paz, Ben White, and Timber are fit, so that's some good news. Now we have to make a loss and get rid of Martinelli and Jesus if we want to sign better players. Who do you want to see in that shirt next to you if you could go and get a player? Bruno Gomes will start there, man. That'd be the one I want, but we'll start there. Everything else is what it is, man. People flip-flop on Nico. I want him and Leao at Chelsea. You don't want Leao, trust me, my bro. False promises with this window. This firm stance on price gimmick is just an excuse. You'll later hear it was a sell to buy window, just like 24-25. I was laughing when Enzo got a red card. You're not alone, man. I'm not English, but I'm sure English citizens enjoyed Enzo double yellow. Bro, they're just a team of cunts, bro. Pardon my language. Like, Argentina, just the biggest villains I've come across. Okay. I was just talking about Mr. Nico. We all know we're not getting it in it. Like, the journalists are being creative now. You can't link us with Rodgers, so you have to throw a Diamande in. You have to throw Nico Williams in, a player we was previously linked with. Apparently, Graham Bailey said Arsenal have made fresh contact over Nico Williams' team to understands, with the player once again firmly back on their shortlist. Andrea Berra has held discussions around Williams as Arsenal have begun exploring whether a deal is realistic this summer. Team Talk understands that his current contract includes a release clause worth 77 million. He's cheaper than Rodgers. Spanish sources have indicated the Premier League would appeal to Williams, with Arsenal viewed as an attractive destination should he decide to leave Bilbao. I mean, you took Barcelona and Arsenal around the houses last summer, so pinch of salt, but yeah, I'd be on it. I can't lie. The problem with Arsenal, they think just because you won the league, all players definitely want to play for the team. Teams like Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, City aren't trash and they have history. We only need 3-4 level raises. Richie, you're right. You know, RIP Kevin Keegan, shit news, if I'm completely honest to see, man. We've all got to die one day, but you have to judge your life on the people you touch. And the man's a legend, innit? His name will ring bells long after he's left this earth. So, yeah, thoughts are with his family. RIP Kevin Keegan. Love you too, mate. Shout out to yourself, man. Appreciate the support for the platform. Imagine how Arteta's feeling not getting his top target with only a year left on his contract, DG. Big up. Morgan Rodgers only had a year left on his deal. That's news to me. Did he not sign a new 4 or 5 year deal in November? Yeah, man. So if they're not going to pay, just don't waste more than anything, don't waste Newcastle's time, but don't waste our time. If you know this optimistic thing, just fuck the Bruno thing off. Scouts, do your jobs, man. The players offering for this window are not all that exciting, and teams just artificially push up the market price. Our financial cheaters sit in Chelsea, so no surprise. Their game's their game, man. Fam, Nico Williams is on 20 mil a year. But I still don't get what others see in Alvarez. I think he's okay, not a game changer. I like him a lot, man. But he wants Barca, so I don't see the point, bro. Nico Williams is overhyped. I'd get mad, but we won the league with players not maximized. Imagine if the players actually play to their true level, this team gets rolled over. No, Arteta, mate, they haven't mentioned his new contract. Oh, apologies. To be fair, Lucas, that ain't... No one said anything since the end of the... Since the summer, since May, sorry, since we won the league. I've said it before. I personally think that shit's signed, man, if I'm honest. Alvarez publicly wants Barca. Diamande publicly wants PSG. Can't for this dynasty. Nico will be 90 to 100 mil. Well, cup tax. But the thing is, if you activate his release clause, you have to run that in full. And I don't think Arsenal want to run 77 million quid in full. They're going to try and do the IOU thing, which on one hand, clubs are doing that. Chelsea are not giving 117 million in full, but the terms have to be very favorable. Pardon me. Nico does not track back. You can be taught to do that stuff, man. Snap me up, Manu Kone would be a great signing. I would not be against him, man. Paredes reminds me of DG Lesser. That big up DG. Obviously got it about Morgan Rogers, but like you said, Berta surely has other targets, or at least you'd like to assume. Maybe unpopular opinion, but I'd be keen on Kylian Yildiz or Ndai. Ndai is welcome, but we've never really, truly, credibly been linked with him, so that seems like a myth. Yildiz, the Athletic said that we asked, and it stayed at that. So we haven't bidded. So maybe there weren't enough encouragement from Juventus that a deal could be done. Maybe there weren't enough encouragement when we've tested the waters with Yildiz via his agents that he wants to move. It ain't happened, didn't it? Big up Zubamendi and Double M. Happy for them. Don't forget David Rao. Do not bring that bum Nico Williams near my club. Zero mentality. He loves his comfort zone. Run me Diamande. It's hard for Arsenal to spend 100 million on Bruno because of Zubamendi. I wouldn't spend 100 million on Bruno, but I don't think Zubi is relevant. Just bring in Krupi. Just bring Krupi in and Konza to fill in for Saliba and Bruno G. I would rather take Nusa over Williams. Nusa's welcome. There are no such thing as consistent wingers. Even Ronaldinho had bad games. I read online that he wasn't going to sign his new contract if he doesn't get back to the market. I'll tell you, I'm not going to lie. You might not getting your first choice targets is one thing, but I've got a lot of time for you, Gaffer. You cannot tell me you haven't. Throughout your time at this club, you've been back, bro. You've been backed. And every signing for me has to make sense. It needs to be players that, I don't know, you could find someone in whatever position that we need that's 24 to 26. He might not be known, but he's ready. Or young emerging players that are ready. Or household names. Every signing has to make sense. Respectfully, because I like Kai. Less of them Kai signings and Noni signings. Everything has to make sense now. Everything. Everything. I don't want to scratch my head and start looking at heat maps and XG and the number of pressures and doing this nerdy thing, bro. Are you a baller or not? Because one thing my football club hasn't done that I badly want them to do is